Well, good morning, good evening, good day, whatever it is for you. Today, I am going to try out Google Gemini controlling Pokemon Shield. Google Gemini will make every decision, good, bad, negative, whatever, to catch, to not catch, to attack, to defend, to growl, whatever. Gemini has full choice, including gender, name, and if we get close, get the Pokeballs on the ground, catch that Pokemon in the air, whatever it is. With that, let's see what we get to go. Let's run a few test questions on Gemini also, and let's get Gemini set up. For sake of ease, I am just going to type everything into Gemini. I will say what I'm typing for narration though. So my question is, how well do you know Pokemon Shield, and do you feel you'd be able to challenge of doing a playthrough where I describe what is on screen to you? You make the decisions to catch, attack, run. Let's see what he says.
I would love to take on that challenge. I am very familiar with Pokemon Shield and the Galar region, from the rolling hills of Postwick to the competitive atmosphere of the Winden Champion Cup. I have a deep knowledge base of the game's mechanics, Pokemon, and story. How well I know Pokemon Shield. I understand the nuances that set this generation apart, including the Galar Pokedex. I know the 400 plus Pokemon in the base game, including Galarian forms, like the Shield-exclusive Galarian Ponyta, and the additions from the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLCs. Version exclusives. I'm aware that in Shield, you'll face Allister, Ghost, and Melanie, Ice, instead of Bea and Gordy, and you'll eventually encounter the legendary Zamazenta. Battle mechanics. I have a firm grasp of Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing, type advantages, move priorities, and hold items. The wild area. I can help you navigate weather-based spawns, max raid battles, and watt traders. The challenge. My role as your strategist. I am fully prepared to act as your Rotom-phone guide. If you describe what's happening, your current team, the wild Pokemon you've encountered, or the moves the gym leader is using, I can provide catching advice. I'll tell you if a Pokemon is worth adding to your team based on its base stats or if it fills a type gap. Battle tactics. I'll calculate type matchups on the fly and suggest whether to attack, switch, or use an item. Route navigation. I can remind you of hidden items or rare encounters in specific areas like the Glimwood Tangle or Route 9. Would you like to start at the very beginning by choosing your starter, Grookey, Scorbunny, or Sobble, or are you already somewhere in the Galar region? Early game tips for Pokemon Shield. This video provides essential tips for the first few hours of your journey, which will help us set a strong foundation for our playthrough.
Okay, that was actually a little bit more than what I'm used to. I did turn up the level here. Normally I just keep it on fast, but I put it on thinking this time for this one. So that was a little bit more than what I'm used to. Oh, excuse me. I have some sinus things going on right now. Um, and I guess it only partially understood what I was asking it. So let's go ahead and run it through one more time on there. So, like I said, I'm reiterating it and just saying, sorry, I meant it as you will be playing the game, just as me being the go-between so you know what's going on the screen. I know it's doing that to me again.
I completely understand now. I am the trainer, and you are my interface. I'll be calling every shot, from the grand strategy of the Champion Cup to whether or not we buy a new hat in Motostoke. Since I am playing through you, I will be decisive. I'll aim for a balanced, powerful team, but I also want us to have some fun with the Galar region's unique flair. The master plan, phase 1. Let's get this journey started. Here are my first executive orders for the opening of the game. Our name. Please name the character Gemmy. The look. Choose the male or female avatar, whichever you prefer, but give them green eyes to match our first partner. The starter. We are choosing Grookey. Its final evolution, Rillaboom, is a powerhouse in the Galar region, and its Grassy Surge ability later on is legendary. The nickname. Name the Grookey Ringo. How we'll communicate. To keep this smooth, whenever you're at a crossroads, describe. The context, e.g., we just entered Route 1, or a wild Wooloo appeared. The options, e.g., we have 5 Pokeballs and Ringo knows Scratch and Growl. The dialogue, if Hop is being particularly Hop-ish, let me know so I can decide how we respond to him. Our first task, please start the game, go through the opening cinematics with Leon, and meet Hop at his house. Once we get to the point where the 3 starters are out on the lawn and Leon asks us to pick Ringo, Grookey, then tell me, what is our first battle with Hop looking like? How does he react when I inevitably beat his Wooloo?
Alright, well, let's go ahead and get to that point, huh? So, said male or female. You know what? I've always gone male because I am a male. Let's go ahead and give the female one the chance this time, huh? And he said to name it Jemmy. So that's part of the other reason why I'm going with the female. Correct? He did say Jemmy, correct? Yep, our character name Jemmy right there. So it makes sense to go female with that. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oops, what happened to my video captures? Uh-oh. Whoops. There we go. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. There we go. I don't know what happened there, but oops. Technical difficulties got fixed. So we took the female character, named her Jemmy, because like the chat guy said here, he wants to name Jemmy. And Jemmy just seems more like a female name. I'm so sad they didn't do voice acting in this. Maybe during the main game I'll do a little bit of voice acting. And while this opening scene is going on, I will actually give Gemini a couple ground rules here too. So I am telling Gemini that I will give him as much detail as I can, including the stat upgrades and everything. It's up to the AI to remember what items it has picked up and what items we have, but I will also, because I know we also forget to. That's why we open our bag a million times. So if it needs for me to open the bags and check for it, I will, just like we do for ourselves. Let's also give it the challenge. What challenge should we do? We should do not a Nuzlocke, 'cause that makes it too challenging. Let's go ahead and do a completionist challenge. I am going to make this a long series. So with this, we can actually make each route its own episode, its own day, whatever. We can have fun with this. And it'll give Gemini the chance to really put its mind power to work. And we'll see how many days I can keep the Gemini chat alive, huh? Because I did try this once before, and because my work schedule was really messed up, I ended up losing the chat. All it would show me was a sensitive query, a sensitive query, a sensitive query. I'm like, no. So I had to restart this whole profile. And look at that, I'm even going to put in there, and like I said, I'm going to add the challenge of making it a completionist game also, because I am posting this online on YouTube or wherever this is going to end up going. So, like I said, I'm also letting it know that I'm making my way through the opening credits. And let's see what Gemini says to that. Come on. I always gotta double tap it.
I love that addition. A completionist run, it is. If we're going to be the best, we might as well make Professor Magnolia proud by filling that Pokedex as we go. This means our priority in every new route or wild area patch will be search, weaken, and capture before we move on to the next town. I'll be keeping a checklist of what we've seen versus what we've caught. The strategist's log, Route 1 and 2 prep. Since we are aiming for a full dex, Here's my mindset as we start. Resource management. We're going to need to spend our early game cash almost exclusively on Pokeballs. Potions are a luxury. We'll use Pokemon centers as much as possible to save money for captures. The living dex rule. If we see a shadow in the grass we don't recognize, we stop everything to investigate. Version exclusives. I'll be keeping a sharp eye out for Galarian Ponyta and Lotad once we get to their habitats, as they are our Shield exclusive badges of honor. Standing by for Ringo. I'm ready when you are. Once the cinematics wrap up and you've officially picked Ringo, Grookey, check the summary. Give me his nature, e.g., adamant, jolly, modest, and his stats. This will tell me if Ringo is going to be a physical powerhouse or if we need to lean into a different strategy. The first fight. Once the battle with Hop begins, tell me the exact HP numbers for Ringo and the level of Hop's Wooloo. I'll give the command for our first move as soon as you're in the battle screen.
Well, damn, I like this one. He wants to know natures and everything? Okay. This is gonna be fun, huh? Sorry, my voice is so raspy. Oh man. Raspy voices. I'm sorry, y'all. This microphone is pretty nice. It's not that good from back then. And how's this one now? Okay, that's not bad. Alright. Well, yeah, you can make it to your house before me. You're starting to take off before I'm even allowed to. It's the power of science guy. Well, almost at the time. I just gotta go talk through this. I'm trying to burn through this, but I'm also trying to find a good spot for this microphone. I'm sorry, guys. So, I know ZA is already out at the same time here. So, how's everyone liking ZA? I honestly really like the open world aspect and the real time battle system. I've been waiting for that forever. Now we just need real time evolutions too. It's our unbeatable champion, Leon. You can chase out of the graves. There we go. Now it's actually kind of muffled. Haha, good. I'm gonna have to test playback on all this though to make sure this is all good. I know my voice is deep. I'm sorry, people. You'll come to love it or you'll come to hate it. My girlfriend loves it. Speaking of, I should probably let her know that I'm awake. Because then she'll want to call. And I won't be able to do this. Trying to make it through all this intro. Let's get Grookey. Let's get all that done on the first episode. This is for real this time. I can't let this one go. Look at you, hot. I reckon you've grown exactly an inch and a quarter since the last time I saw you. And these bright eyes over here. I've got it. You must be Gemini, am I right? I've heard loads about you from my little brother. I'm the Galarian Region greatest ever Pokemon champion, and a massive Charizard fan too. People call me the unbeatable Leon. That hot. Always wanted to be the best, ain't he? When proper rival of his own, I bet he pushed himself to become something truly special. Well, everybody, I bid you farewell for the day. Don't you fret. I'll get around and make sure everyone in Galar can have a champion time. I know this is based out in the UK, but I swear that's what he would sound like. Especially with all the fucking punctuation and shit that they got. Oops. I have to find that and block that out. Right then. Greatest gift from the greatest champ. Showtime, everyone. Take a good look at too. Grass type Pokemon, Grookey. Fire type Pokemon, Scorbunny. And water type Pokemon, Solid. Alright, line up everyone. Which will you choose? Go on, you pick first. And Gemini said, pick Grookey and call him Ringo. Like, come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The feed stopped again. What happened? Uh-oh. Not good. There we go. Weird. I'm on two different channels on there. Sorry. So, Gemini said to nickname it. And name it Ringo. Boogie. Nickname? Yes. He said R I N G O. Alright, there was a way to protect nature in battle, right? I should be able to go into the summary. I don't know why they do a whole barbecue before the first, but whatever. Like, I really need a daycare or a Pokemon Center after nothing. That always bothered me. So, finally, the next input section for Gemini coming up in another 10 minutes. Da. Yeah, let's do this. Yes. Finally, battle. type here. Jeez, my fingers are just so bad right now. Eh. Ooh, we got 20. 10. 10 defense. And 12 speed. And whatever. And overthrow ability. And the backside of this. Alright, so giving him the information that he wanted about Ringo's nature, stats. Give a little bit extra also with the moves and the ability. Just so, even though that's a static ability, that's a base ability every starter groupie is going to have. But let's give it to him. Oops, say that.
A modest nature, eh? That means Ringo is a bit more thoughtful and less aggressive, boosting his special attack but lowering his physical attack. Since almost all of Grookey's best moves, like Scratch and his future grass moves, are physical, we're starting with a bit of a handicap. But no matter, a true trainer wins with the team they have. Ringo's speed, 12, is his best asset right now. We likely outspeed this Wooloo. The command, Wooloo is level 3, and we are level 5. We don't need to play defensively here. Ringo, use Scratch. The strategy. We're going to brute force our way through this Wooloo. Even with a modest nature, a level 5 Scratch should put a massive dent in a level 3 sheep. I want to save as much HP as possible for his Sobble, which will be a more even match. Please report back. How much damage did Scratch do to Wooloo? What did Wooloo do in return? Once Wooloo faints, let me know when Sobble comes out and if Ringo leveled up.
Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is just tell it turn by turn what happens. We landed a critical hit. Hop even said so. That's how I noticed. Gulu still has a little over half HP, which at a little over half, he's still in green. And we took 4 HP. What are you doing?
A critical hit and it's still over half health? That modest nature is definitely making Ringo play hard mode with physical moves like Scratch. But we aren't backing down. Wooloo taking 4 HP from us is a decent chunk, 20% of our health, but we have the speed advantage. I want this sheep off the field before it can chip away any more of our HP. We need to be as healthy as possible when Hop sends out that sobble. The command, Ringo, use Scratch again. The strategy, if the first one was a crit and it's still above half, this second Scratch might not finish it, but it'll put it in the red. Report back to me. Did the second Scratch finish the Wooloo? If not, what move did Wooloo use and how much HP does Ringo have left? As soon as Wooloo goes down, tell me if Ringo reached level 6 and if his stats increased. Once Wooloo is gone, Hop will send out his sobble, and that's where the real tactical battle begins.
So, no critical hit. Gulu's in the red. We lost 3 HP.
That Wooloo is surprisingly sturdy. It's clearly been eating its Galar hay. Ringo is down to 13/20ths hydrogen phosphide. We're still in the safe zone, but I don't want to take any more chip damage from a sheep before we face the real threat. The command, Ringo, use Scratch. Finish it off so we can move on to the main event. The strategy, once Wooloo is down, I expect Ringo to hit level 6. If he does, please let me know his new stats, to see if that modest nature is still trolling our attack stat. If he tries to learn a new move, he should learn Branch Poke soon, which is our first stab, same type attack bonus, move. Sobble's entrance. What level is Hop's Sobble? Note, since we are playing for the Pokedex, remember that once this battle is over, we need to head to Route 1. I'll want a status report on how many Pokeballs Leon gives us so we can start our capture spree. Finish that, Wooloo. How does Hop react to his first loss of the match?
So, I was waiting on him to finish talking there so I can actually pay attention to the stats. That's right, it actually holds them up on the screen. Sobble. Oh, wait. Nope, I'm gonna see if he actually remembers where Ringo is, or if he thinks that Ringo full heals every time he levels up. Alright, and let's see what we say. It actually got it right. I can see it right there. That's awesome.
Perfect. The level up was exactly what we needed. Even with our modest nature slowing down our attack, Branch Poke is a game changer because of stab, same type attack bonus, and the type advantage. The battle analysis. Ringo's status, 15-20 seconds HP. He gained 2 max HP, and the level up usually heals that small amount. The matchup, grass versus water. Ringo has a massive advantage here. The math. Branch Poke deals 2 times damage because Sobble is a water type, plus an additional 1.5 times damage because Ringo is a grass type. That's a 3 times damage multiplier compared to Scratch. The command. Ringo, use Branch Poke. The strategy. This move should potentially one-shot the Sobble, or at the very least, leave it hanging by a thread. Since Sobble is level 5, it might try to use Water Gun, which we resist, or Pound. Either way, Ringo is in a great position to close this out. Report back once the dust settles. How much damage did Branch Poke do? Did it one-shot him? What was Hop's reaction to losing his first official battle against us? Once the battle is over and the cutscenes play, we need to get our Pokeballs. How many does Leon give us? Next objective. As soon as we have those Pokeballs, we are hitting Route 1. I want a list of the first 3 Pokemon you see in the grass. We aren't leaving that route until they are all nicknamed and in our PC.
Damn, I told him what to do completionist, and he wants the completion. Jeez. I'm gonna give it a little update here because it thinks Route 1 is after this. I remember the Slumbering Will coming up right here. I'm doing this earlier test play. So I'm gonna throw that in there at it real quick because it thinks we're going to Route 1 after this. And oh yeah, I still gotta wait for it to give me a move next. That's right. So I'm telling it the update in match, and I'm like, hey, I thought we also had to go to the Weald after this.
You're absolutely right, Sharp Eye. I was getting ahead of myself, eager to start catching. First, we have to deal with that runaway Wooloo and the mysterious fog of the slumbering Weald. But first, we have a job to finish on the battlefield. The closing move. Sobble is in the yellow, and while Pound did a decent chunk of damage, 3 hydrogen phosphide, Ringo is still sitting comfortably at 12-20 seconds hydrogen phosphide. Since we are faster and have the type advantage, there is no reason to overthink this. The command, Ringo, use Branch Poke. Course correction, into the mist. Once Sobble faints and we collect our prize money, And Hop's inevitable, you're amazing. Speech. The Wooloo will crash through the gate. Our next objectives. Follow Hop. We're going into the slumbering wheel to save that Wooloo. The atmosphere. Describe the fog as it gets thicker. I want to know when the music changes and everything gets quiet. The encounter. Eventually, we are going to run into a Pokemon in the mist. Trainer's note. Since this is a scripted battle where our moves won't do anything, just let me know when we face the mysterious beast. Don't worry about HP there. Just tell me how Ringo reacts to the fog. Did Branch Poke finish the job, and are we ready to step into the woods?
Oh, well, I guess I have a limit on how many queries I can give it on this hard thinking mode. Hmm. Oh, for both of them. I guess it gives me an hour ish. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Well, I guess it's gonna go back to the regular thinking mode, the fast thinking mode here for now, because I am going to finish up this part at least. And then I guess I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow to do the next part, which that's fine because it keeps me at roughly an hour-long video. That's awesome, and it gives me a little wrap up here. And actually, I really don't want to go any further without the thinking mode because I want it to go full through on the same setting. So I can get it to save here after this. Trying to bust through it, guys. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Let's see. I'm gonna go in through my phone and check this, how much this costs. Oh boy. Well, that's a good deal. $2 for 3 months, but then it's $20 a month afterward. I'm gonna get some subscriber help. Oh, Google Accounts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Wait, aren't I already on? Oh, whatever. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to get on my Google Gemini. On some games because I thought I wouldn't need it. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to get this to go real quick. I'm gonna have to reset this page. Let's see. Chat thing. Come back. And then, haha. There we go. Haha. said that again. Add that back in again. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Let's go ahead and drop a save real quick. Just because, oh hey, finally, my controller's finished. Holy cow. I've been running. I got this controller on Christmas. This is now New Year's Day, and I'm finally having to charge this thing. I will say, this is a really good controller to last that long. So let's see. I need to oops. Let's see the sync cable. Let's see, technical difficulties. I will be right back with all this. Alright. I have so many wires running across my desk doing this stuff right now. This is so fun. We've got to save it. That's not the way I meant to go. And of course, he says he's going to go in and save it, but I got to go run in first. Oh no, I forgot to catch the, oh no. Because of the thing going on, I forgot to catch the, stats. Alright, well, we can figure it out, that's fine. Because we know where it was. Check summary. So, let's see. we have a fast little monkey here, though, don't we? Did he get a new move with that level up? No, he did not. Alright. And I'm gonna wait to send another message, or to actually send this message, because, man, if I can type again. Excellent work, Gringo. Yeah, right. Let's see what you gotta say here. I guess I didn't end it there, but whatever. I do drop that.
Excellent work, Ringo. Those stats are starting to round out nicely. Having equal attack and special attack at this stage is actually quite versatile for a modest Grookey. Even though we are on a rescue mission for Wooloo, you mentioned the completionist challenge, and a trainer never passes up an opportunity to scout the local fauna. We don't have Pokeballs yet. Leon usually hands those out after the Slumbering Weald event, so we can't catch this Squabbit yet. The command. Since we can't catch it and we want to keep Ringo healthy for what's waiting in the fog, Ringo, use Scratch. The strategy. At level 7, a Scratch from Ringo will likely one-shot a level 2 squirrel. We'll take the easy experience points and keep moving deeper into the woods. Report back to me. Did Squabbit go down in one hit? As you move deeper, describe the fog. Is it starting to get thick enough that you can't see the path? Tell me when the battle music stops and that eerie silence kicks in. Once we encounter the legendary mystery, I'll tell you how I want to handle it, even if it feels like we're swinging at ghosts. Keep your guard up, Gemmy.
We only did about 40% damage, I'd say, right? Yeah. Let's see what Gemini says after I tell it to talk twice.
That modest nature is really making its presence felt.
Yeah,
A level 7 Ringo only doing 40% to a level 2 Squabbit is a clear sign that our physical attack is struggling.
Yeah.
As for that status move, it was likely Tail Whip, lowering our defense. This squirrel is surprisingly bold. The command, Ringo, use Scratch again.
Really?
The strategy, we need to finish this fight quickly. Even though Squabbit is weak, we don't want to get our stats lowered too much before we move deeper into the Weald. Once this squirrel is dealt with, keep walking forward until the environment starts to change. Please report back. Did the second Scratch finish it, or do we need a third? Did we gain enough Express to reach level 8? The atmosphere. As you move past this fight, tell me when the fog becomes so thick that you can only see Hop's silhouette. Once the music cuts out and the legendary appears, don't panic. I'll give you the command for the ghost encounter as soon as you see the wolf in the mist.
Alright, Squirt's in the red HP, but he is another tail whip.
This squirrel is playing a dangerous game. 2 tail whips means our defense is severely lowered. If it manages to land a hit now, it'll hurt a lot more than it should. We need to end this immediately before it gets a lucky tackle off. The command: Ringo, use scratch. Finish this squirrel and let's get out of here. The strategy: the wheel deepens. Once this squavit is out of the way, do not hang around. We need to find that Wooloo. As you continue, the fog. Tell me when the screen starts to turn white and the music fades into that low, pulsing ambient sound. The legendary: when the mysterious Pokemon, the spectral wolf, finally leaps out of the mist. Describe its appearance to me. The battle that isn't. We will enter a battle screen against. Our attacks will phase right through it. Did the squavit faint? And have you reached the heart of the mist yet? I'm curious to see how Ringo reacts when his moves start failing against the legendary Guardian of Shield.
And we have another encounter, Rickety. I'm glad
Good
I got
job,
this right.
Ringo. We're slowly chipping away at that experience bar. Another Rookity? This is a perfect example of why we're doing a completionist run. Rookity eventually becomes Corviknight, one of the best flying, steel types in the game. But for now, it's just a bird standing between us and that Wooloo. Since Rookity is a flying type, our branch poke, grass, will be not very effective. We need to stick to physical strength, even if our modest nature makes it tough. The command: Ringo, use scratch. The strategy: keep an eye on Ringo's HP. If the bird uses peck, it'll deal super effective damage to us. If our health drops below 5 HP, we might need to consider running, but at level 7, we should be able to swat this bird away. Report back to me. How much damage did Scratch do? Did the Rookity use peck or leer? The mist check. Are we getting closer to the tall grass shaking? Tell me the moment the music changes from the upbeat woods theme to that eerie, low whistling sound. Once we clear this bird in the next scripted encounter, we should be heading back to see Leon to finally get our Pokeballs. I'm itching to start actually catching these critters for our Pokedex.
I love the detail, but he's getting ahead of himself too. Like, slow down. Let's take it one battle at a time, one step at a time, man. Whoa.
That bird is trying to set us up for a big hit. Between the tail whips from the squirrel and this leer from the Rookity, Ringo's defense is getting dangerously low. Even a weak move from a level 2 bird could start to hurt if we don't wrap this up. The command: Ringo, use scratch. The strategy: we need to clear this Rookity out now. One more scratch should do it, especially since it's already in the yellow. Watch for these things. The finish. Did Ringo take it down? The woods. After this fight, I want you to push forward into the deep mist. Don't worry about finding more wild Pokemon right now. Let's trigger the event. The legendary encounter. Tell me when you see the beast in the fog. It should look like a giant, regal wolf, but blurred by the mist. The battle. When the battle starts and you see the, I want you to try to use branch poke. I know it won't work, but Gemmy needs to see that our physical world doesn't affect this phantom yet. Once the battle ends and you wake up back at the gate with Leon and Hop, let me know. That's when we finally get the tools we need to start our real quest, the Pokedex.
The two R's are messing with me right now when I'm typing.
Ah, good catch. I was so focused on our lower defense that I forgot the fundamental rule. The end of the battle resets all stat stages. Ringo is back to his base stats and ready for action. A level 3 Squabbit is a bit meatier than the level 2 we fought earlier. Since we are level 7 and fully healed, we have a safe cushion here. The command: Ringo, use Scratch. The strategy: we'll stick to the physical route for now. Even with our modest nature, Scratch is our most reliable neutral damage move until we find a target weak to grass. Report back to me. How much damage did that Scratch do? Did the Squabbit survive to use a move? The mist trigger. After this fight, are we finally seeing the screen go white? We've been patrolling the lobby of the Weald for a bit now. I'm ready to face the mysterious wolf. Once you see the Pokemon, tell me, is it standing still, or is it lunging through the fog? I want to know exactly how much of a threat it looks like to Gemmy and Ringo.
Yeah, I know this modest nature is killing us.
That modest nature is really testing us. Ringo is effectively holding back his physical strength. Dealing only 25% damage to a level 3 squirrel when we are level 7 is definitely the nature's minus 10% attack penalty at work. Ringo is now at 21/24 hydrogen phosphide. We have plenty of health, but this Squabbit is proving to be a tank for such a low level. The command: Ringo, use Scratch again. The strategy: we're going to stay the course. I don't want to use Branch Poke here because Squabbit is a normal type, so it won't be super effective, and we want to save our PP for the unknown depths of the woods. Report back to me. Did the second Scratch put it in the red, or are we looking at a 4-hit knockout? Did Squabbit land another hit? The push. As soon as this squirrel is down, I want you to ignore any other shaking grass and head straight for the thickest part of the fog. We need to find that Wooloo and trigger the encounters so we can get back to the village and get our Pokeballs. I'm ready for the fog to roll in. Tell me when the music stops. This squirrel is surprisingly persistent. If it used Tail Whip again, our defense is down, and if it used Defense Curl, it's making our already weakened Scratches even less effective. Between Ringo's modest nature and the Squabbit's defensive play, this is becoming a battle of attrition. We are down to 21/24 HP, so we are still very safe, but I want to end this now. The command: Ringo, use Scratch. The strategy: hopefully, this hit puts it into the deep red or finishes it off. Once this battle ends, Ringo's stats will reset again. After this fight, the rescue: please head straight into the deep fog. We have spent enough time in the tutorial grass. It's time to find the lost Wooloo and face the mystery. The encounter: tell me the moment the screen goes completely white and that legendary silhouette appears. The scripted event: don't worry about trying to win the next fight. Once the Pokemon appears, describe the first move it uses against us. Is the Squabbit finally down? And are we entering the mist?
The score with his final boss. Come on, read.
This squirrel is basically the final boss of the slumbering Weald entrance. It's clearly trying to stall us out. Since our Scratch is doing roughly 25% and the Squabbit is in the red, this next hit should be the finisher. The command, Ringo, use scratch. Let's put this squirrel to bed. The transition to the mystery. I am giving you a standing order. As soon as this squabbit faints, do not stop for any more wild encounters. 1. Run toward the fog. Head deeper into the weald until the colors wash out and the music turns into that eerie, rhythmic pulse. 2. The legendary. You will eventually see a massive, majestic wolf shrouded in the mist. This is the Pokemon. 3. The ghost fight. When the battle transition happens, Ringo will be face to face with it. Command, use branch poke. The result, watch closely. I want you to tell me exactly what happens when the move hits. Does it just pass through like air? Report back once the mist swallows you up and it appears. How is Ringo's HP looking before we enter the fog? He should be at 21/24 or 18/24, depending on if that squirrel got one last hit in.
Ooh, excuse me. Green. Mm. Let's see if it gets my sarcasm with the text. Oh yeah, I love the music in this scene.
This is it. The atmosphere has shifted completely. The music is gone, the colors are faded, and we are standing face to face with the ancient mystery of Galar. Even though Ringo is a bit weakened by that stubborn squirrel, he stands his ground in the thick fog. The command, Ringo, use branch poke. The encounter, I want to see how Ringo handles this. Since we're playing the shield version, the creature before us is Zamazenta, though its name is unknown to us right now. It's shrouded in a spectral mist, looking like a phantom of a warrior. Tell me what happens next. When Ringo swings that branch, does the move connect, or does it simply whistle through the air as if nothing was there? Does the Pokemon even bother to attack us, or does it just stare through us with those glowing eyes? Once the fog becomes so thick that the screen goes completely white and Gemmy faints, let me know when Leon finally finds us. Describe the moment the battle ends. How does it feel to face something that doesn't even seem to exist?
Mm. I mean, I've already played the game before. I mean, I played Sword. That was my original. So, I mean, it was kind of cool.
That is an eerie feeling, watching a grass type move pass through a creature as if it were made of smoke. Even though we are the ones playing, the game is clearly showing us that Jemmy and Ringo are way out of their league for now. After the encounter, once the mist clears and Leon rescues us, we are officially done with the tutorial section of the game. Now the real journey begins. Please head back to Postwick and complete the following story beats. Farewell. Say goodbye to your mom and receive the camp set. The delivery. Head to Wedgehurst, Route 1, to meet Leon at the Pokemon Research Lab. The Master Key. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Leon should give us a set of Pokeballs. Strategic Command. The Great Galar Catch-Up. As soon as those Pokeballs are in our bag, we are turning back toward Route 1. Since we are doing a completionist run, we are not leaving Route 1 until we have caught every species available there. According to my records, we need to catch Squavit, Rookidee, Blipbug, Wooloo, Nickit, Grubbin, Rare Encounter, our first targets. Please tell me how many Pokeballs Leon gave us. Then, walk into the first patch of grass on Route 1. Who is the first Pokemon we encounter? What is its level? The order. I will give you a nickname for every single one we catch. Let's start building the Gemmy collection.
The Gemmy collection. Hey. I love it. Mm. I'm gonna have to cut this video off because my throat is just so dry. Yeah. Let's go get something to eat, something to drink, something. I'm sorry, people. But, I mean, this is a good enough spot to stop. Also, right at the end, or after the intro here. Alright, and don't forget to tell your mom we're off to Wedgehurst now. Yep. Let's go up here, let's talk to mama. Oh, mama, where you at? So, let's see if we can all get this online. this ain't me. Alright, and we start to give it a inventory check here.
That is a fantastic starting bankroll. Most trainers start with much less, so we are in a great position to fund our Pokédex mission. Before we leave Postwick, we definitely shouldn't leave empty-handed. There are a few things to grab in and around the house. Postwick scavenger hunt. In your room, check the bag on the floor for a potion. Every bit helps. Outside the house, go to the right side of your house, the path leading toward the gate of the slumbering Weald. There is a hidden antidote tucked away near the fence or the trees. Hop's house. Head over to Hop's place. Check the garden area to the right of his front door. There is often a potion hidden in the plants. The Gemini shopping list. Since we only have 5 Pokeballs, our completionist heart should be racing. We are going to run out of those in minutes. Our next stop, the Wedgehurst Pokemon Center. Before we hit the tall grass of Route 1 for real, I want you to go to the Pokemart counter inside the Wedgehurst Pokemon Center. The command, spend 4,000 Poké-dollars on 20 more Pokeballs. That gives us 25 total. This should be enough to capture the first wave of Galar's wildlife. On the way to Wedgehurst, Route 1, you'll have to walk through Route 1 to get to the town. Even though we only have 5 balls right now, if you see a Nickit or a Blipbug, let me know immediately. Let me know, did you find the hidden items in Postwick? Once you step onto Route 1, who is the very first Pokemon that jumps out at us? Don't engage until I give the command. I want to make sure we don't accidentally KO a potential new teammate.
No, I don't see it. Spend 4,000. Oh, yeah, we got that to go. said you can drop a save. And let's talk to Hop here. Yeah. Actually, before I do that, I am going to. Oh, well, the video froze again, anyways. Awesome. Stupid thing. Where did it stop? That one's still moving. I don't get this thing. Why does it keep doing that? There we go. Alright, well, so, okay, that bag of bait, I'm over here, literally the den. Yeah, I keep forgetting I can't change the camera. So, now, I'm gonna give this a pause point. I'm gonna wrap this up right now. Give this a pause, and I will see y'all in the next one.